Going to me, I know that we spend all day. We'll spend all morning talking. For those of you, here's a big plug. We spend all morning. Fred will start. I'll do an hour or so on marketing. David will do an hour or so on marketing, and then it's all conversion experts or people that are familiar with the business or ways to increase your net bottom line. I'm fortunate enough to get Robert Fragoso from Orange County to come and speak. My friend Justin Druin, who's one of the top appraisers and top investors in Southern California, we're dragging them all out to Vegas. They all have national money. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. But the goal to me, and I see that I do personal coaching, and I've talked to, I don't know how you do it, Fred. I don't care if I'm talking to a company or I'm talking to an individual. It's mind-blowing to me how little marketing people do to get their listings and how heavily everybody's been relying on their referrals up to this point.
Well, referrals is 90% of my business. It really is. But I market for it. I market for it. If you're not, you got to market for it. And the monster, what you're doing is you're creating momentum. But if you're a CPA, or if you're a hairstylist, if you come from a different industry where you have people like you, they'll listen to you. If people trust you, they'll do business with you. So when you create an email list, you want to get all the people that you think that trust you. And people will say, well, where should I start off with my email list, Red? Do you have people in your life that you think trust you? Okay, put them in that. You have a trust me list. And then you have a friends list. Like, I'm mentoring college kids at San Diego State where I went to college, and I tell them to start an email list now. All their friends. You don't know who your friends are going to end up being. One of the fraternity, my president at my fraternity at San Diego State, he owns Sprouts. Okay, how many stores does Sprouts have? My roommate at San Diego State in my fraternity, he started Beats by Dr. Dre. How wealthy is that guy?
Right.
These are just friends of mine. So your friends from college some of them are going to turn out to be extremely successful people. So where should those people go? Into an email list. Because you're not going to spam your friends and try to, but you're going to give them useful information, and you just tell them, look, you can remove yourself off the list. A lot of people have a problem spamming their friends or sending out an email to their friends. I don't, because I know that I'm the best at what I do, and I'm going to give them straight, honest advice, and they're going to buy a house one day. They're going to do something one day, and who else should they come to but the person who is probably the best at what they do? And I'm not being arrogant when I say that. I truly believe that I'm the best that they will get, because I'm going to be straightforward with them. And I'm good at what I do. I know how to negotiate purchase prices, and, I have fun with that stuff. Negotiating's fun for me. It's like, kind of like, I guess a doctor's, saving a gunshot victim that comes into the operating room. You better have some type of personal gratification when you save someone's life. Well, I get personal gratification when I help save them money. That's how I get it. And so, I guess that comes from my last name, Solomon. Solomon, Jewish, save people money. You get the idea.
Yeah, it works. Whatever it takes for a branding standpoint. And that's another thing that we will be discussing. I will make it a point to discuss individual or personal branding. I don't, again, Fred knows this about us, and he's been at my events, not for the last 7 years, but I'd say the last 11. Like, there's a crazier number. There's a crazier number, like 2007, I think. So it's 10 years.
When you first started doing it, yeah.
Yeah, my very first big room when I was just a newbie speaker, and I'd walk around like a caged tiger and speak for 3 hours.
But you're very entertaining. You're funny, and you got a dry sense of humor. But you capture people's attention, and the best thing I love about you is that you're a no BS guy. And on my radio show, I make a joke about BS. BS means before Solomon, and before Solomon you might have gotten a lot of BS, but once you deal with us, we'll shoot you straight. You're the same kind of guy, and there's not a lot of people doing what you do that are like that. In fact, your competitors, who kind of do the same thing that you do, they've been to your events. They want to see what you're doing because they've heard about you. And I know that I've dealt with people that are doing your Monster program, and they have nothing but good things to say. Now, people get lazy. They don't necessarily always do what they're supposed to do, but that's not you're the coach. You're like in a sport.
I'm a marketing guy. That's the running joke, right? And you've known me this long. I like to think of myself as a great marketer.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, based on the books and everything that I do, when it's all said and done, getting named an innovative marketer by certain publications and stuff it's great. But at the end of the day, the only reason I ever did any of it was just out of resource, right? Because I wanted to get myself listings and I didn't really want to struggle too much with it. It was a complete byproduct that it turned into this. When I did and people don't know this history, my very first event in Vegas, I spoke by myself. The first Lee Honish Monster Summit 7 years ago was just me at a title company and maybe 30 or 40 people I consulted with. And I just spoke for 2 days. I just did. I just vomited everything that I knew. By the second year, I had the first version of the Monster pretty squared away. And then you start getting into those crazy things in years 3 and 4, right? The big convention that took up the entire ground floor of the Golden Nugget. We had the cool thing out by the airport where the students bought out the whole room, and it turned into that really weird mastermind that I didn't expect. Last year was phenomenal. We've been at the Golden Nugget now for 3 or 4 years straight. They treat us exceptionally well. We're on that nice new second floor that's remodeled. We're limiting it again to 100 seats so that we can actually interact with people. We're also this year focusing on the night before, and one of my coaching students, Barbara Frisbee, is actually coordinating a mixer. She wants a bigger area because apparently the Red Bar was not big enough last year. See, I don't think about these things. I just show up, and I still have sort of a rock star mentality of, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. It's how I do it in my business. I know that it works. Just do it.
Suck information from my brain.
Yeah.
Be a sponge. Grab your pen. Take some notes. Record a video. If something resonates, hit record. I know you record it anyways, and you let everybody kind of. I
know. I should charge. I tried 1 year to charge, and then I felt bad for charging for the feed, and I'm like. Then the people who are at the event. Here's the whole thing about creating a value for an event. I would invite everybody for free every year for my events. The problem with that is you guys won't show up if you don't put skin in the game. Now this year, the reason I'm giving you guys the code Monster 2017, I've got sponsors that'll buy your tickets. So don't shaft out on these are $100 seats, which is a drop in the bucket comparative to your overall marketing plan. You're talking about a Saturday in Vegas where you're getting 9 hours of content. If you just came for the afternoon, if you just showed up at 1 o'clock on, and you're talking about seeing Robert speak or Justin speak, or watching a panel of people that are actually out in the field. Like Steve Hawks by himself is a show closer out in Vegas. I know nobody in Vegas likes him, so if you're in Vegas and you don't like him, tough crap. He's top 1%. I mean, there's a reason he's a number one realtor in your town. There's a reason he has that billboard. There's a reason he's able to do those structured down 1% listing deals that you guys think he's undercutting the market. You're not undercutting the market. He's undercutting Redfin. He's competing with companies you can't even conceive of. And last year when he spoke and talked about a local company that was cold calling every day and cycling through every expired by noon every day, the look on everybody's face, I said, if you don't think that's happening in your market right now, you're crazy. You're just crazy if you don't think that's happening, because people with a budget do that. And as long as it keeps generating one lead for that brokerage, they're going to keep doing it. They don't care. They'll start earlier. They'll just, and my whole, I've been doing this since I began. I mean, even way back to when you first saw me in 2007. Go be an advocate. Go help people that have screwed up. Just stop hammering people. Like, people don't want to be hammered. I mean, it's tough enough handling that first objection of, oh, you're one of them. I'm not one of them. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm here to help you, and however that plays out is how it plays out. That's probably why we specialized on the mispayments.
And that goes straight into the concept of ABM, always be marketing, because if you're there to truly help someone, you don't have to, shove something down their throat, because these people have stacks of mail on their, kitchen tables, 6 inches high, and they're not opened. They don't want to deal with their reality that faces them. And what I always explain at your events, and when I go speak at realtor offices as well, I tell them, you don't have to be the best salesman. You really don't. Let's just say you're an average salesperson. You're not even the best. Let's just say you're average. But if you're like even a little bit good of marketing, at marketing, you can make 6 figures a year right out of the gate. But if you're decent at sales and a good marketer, I tell people, walk outside, look up in the sky, because the sky's the limit for you. How much do you want to make? You just got to get good at marketing, and that's what your event's all about, is to teach people how to do that. And you literally, you make it turnkey. All they have to do is, buy the house and move in. There's now you can't coach effort.
No.
Sports events, sports
no,
teams.
You can't.
You can't coach effort. You either are going to put the effort forth or you're not. But you can coach everything else. You can coach everything else. And if people are motivated, I mean, I don't know if you're an independent contractor, if you're not a motivated person, if you don't like to go to the gym, if you don't like to go to jiu-jitsu practice like Lee does, then this ain't for you. But if you are a motivated person, go look outside in the parking lot. There's some nice cars parked out there, and it's not because they're not working. It's because they work their fannies off, and they probably love what they do, and that's what this job's all about. I love it. I really do it. I have passion for it, and I'm 27 years in, and I still have passion for it, and that's why I appreciate people like you so much, Lee, because you guys, you have passion to help people in marketing, and there's not and I've gotten better at marketing because of the things that you've taught me. There's so many things I've learned over the years, but I just love. I'm going to share those thoughts of all the things that we do, from the cheapest to the most expensive. And another cool thing I just did is I got my car wrapped.
I saw that. I saw that you got one of the cars wrapped.
Yeah, a little stupid car or smart car. I'm considering kind of raising it up a little bit. I don't know how crazy I'm going to get with it, but I might even put a lift kit on it. Think about that. I've seen a couple pictures. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cheesy, but I don't know. It's going to get some attention. I know that,
right.
And that's what it's all about. A guy that I know had his car wrapped, 8 deals in 8 months, over $100,000 in commissions, cost him $1,600 to do it. What's the return on investment on that? 100 to 1?
Yeah, easily. And it goes back to, for those of you who don't understand, why would you wrap a car? Or why would you? Okay, think back when you guys were walking around the convention this year and you saw people buying moving trucks and things of that nature. I can tell you firsthand from one of our speakers at the event, David Bartels, who has he wraps everything out there. They got cars, They got everything. Like, he is so about his branding, and it's funny because we've been talking about this on coaching calls. He bought commercials, and he got them sandwiched in and around Super Bowl time or like some very big events, and didn't see very much of a result. He goes, branding on the street, branding in your market. He goes, there's just so many people competing with other flows out there. You have to be creative with branding your message. And I completely agree. When it came to this event this year, let me explain how close this event was to not happening. So For those that don't know, back in November, we were getting ready to elect a new president, and real estate agents, Fred,